Me too in about 3 seconds. Gotta love super tennis. And by
You know
that
what
I mean what's up?
You know what I dusted off tonight?
What?
Mario Tennis
Oh,
for
really?
the Virtual Boy.
Oh, fuck.
Virtual Boy.
Yeah, that's where I first debuted or whatever.
Nintendo's only 32-bit console.
Oh, the best one. I'd rather just
Yeah.
emulate everything nowadays. I don't have money, man. Like we've been over that though. I think I did play that one a bit, or like the Mario Virtual Boy game is actually pretty decent if you just emulate it.
Somebody gave me it, and it was a while ago, and I gladly took it. I got Battle Clash and Mario Tennis.
Nice. How many Virtual Boy games do you have?
That's it.
Shit. This fucking game.
They have a nice top-down shooter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Red Alarm?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Ugh.
The sad part about the Virtual Boy is that it actually had some decent games.
Hey guys, I scored a point in tennis. Progress.
Nice. Progress.
Good job.
Damn it. Fucking it's not as forgiving as Mario Tennis. I think it's made by Nintendo as well, but it's like it's actually not lenient on where you hit things and shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Mario Clash, not Battle Clash.
Oh. That one's fun, I think. That's the one that's like the original, like the not original, like Mario Bros or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so listen to this. I'm just gonna list what I think would be considered sort of good games for this system.
You better run.
There's Bomberman Panic Bomber,
There's a Bomberman game on that thing? I didn't even realize that.
Mario Clash, Mario's Tennis, Nestor's Funky Bowling.
That's not good. That's fucking.
It is pretty good. Nestor's a character from the Nintendo Power comics.
AVGN covered it, I think, all years ago.
Oh,
I've seen most of the games. I think I thought he covered every game. I didn't realize there's a Bomberman game though.
Yeah, Red Alarm, Vertical Force, Virtual Boy Wario Land. I'm not gonna say Water World. No.
Shit.
Waterworld.
Waterworld, for a game that only displays red.
Teleroboxer is questionable.
It's a good game, just bad console.
Yeah. I mean, the other ones might be pretty good too. Like Atlas had one, Jack Brothers.
Yeah, that's the rare one, I think. Oh, for fuck's sakes, this game. Oh, hey, they actually hit the ball out. I get a point because they screwed up.
Then they had some unreleased games.
Shit.
So GoldenEye 007 was planned for the Virtual Boy.
No fucking way. Really?
Yeah, it was gonna be a rail shooter.
Oh, okay. I think that's what it was supposed to be for the N64 too, originally.
Wow.
Faceball. That was gonna be on there.
Baseball.
There's gonna be one called Mario Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Mario Kart Virtual Cup.
Huh. Yeah.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Something called Love. I'm listing English titles.
That was gonna be a thing, didn't they?
Yeah. VI Racer, which I'm sure nobody cared about. Virtual Boy Star Fox.
Ooh. Damn it.
Worms.
Also, if I'm randomly like swearing, it's about this game.
Yeah.
Don't-
I mean,
Man.
right now you can hear you guys in my stream, and trust me, you're the least of anybody's worries.
I'm still trying to filter my language for when I teach, so I know it's like a 6-year process.
That tag wasn't meant to be.
What's up, Tails?
What? Shit.
Then there was Doraemon was going to be released as a platformer in Japan.
Damn.
There was going to be a Puyo Puyo. another Bomberman. And then they had a bunch of virtual games lined up, like Virtual Battle Ball, Virtual Block, Virtual Double, Virtual Gunman. None of it really happened. So there's a total of 24 games that are on the list.
Wonder if any
But it
trace
says-
of them exists. Like sometimes I find that.
Yeah,
Like the SNES CD or whatever, or the SNES PlayStation.
yeah. Which I've seen a couple different versions at this point.
Oh, the PlayStation? Really?
Yeah.
I thought they just found the
Super
one.
Nintendo CD.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, the Super Nintendo PlayStation.
I saw one that they had to complete, and then I saw one that was complete as a prototype.
Well, there's the one that was found like this last year or whatever, 2016 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that I'm pretty sure that's the one that was complete,
Yeah.
and it plays Road Blaster. Well, I think they call it Super Road Blaster on that, or something like that. On the Sega CD, it's Road Avenger, and it was also an arcade game.
So yeah, I love knowing all these random like facts. I don't know, so I guess you're the same way, so it works out. Fuck. I think I'm gonna drop claim on this game because this is gonna need to be a dog pile game. I feel like I've been able to score like maybe 10 points in 4 frickin' games I played of this.
Right.
It's fucking
So
hard.
After I'm done with UN Squadron, I think I'm just gonna help here and there.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can still. Wait, you can fail and go to the next frickin' tournament? What the hell? You still win that way?
Oh, great design there, guys.
Maybe I don't even need to win this.
Maybe you're trying too hard.
Well, it's like that. I don't know. This is like depth perception of the game. I can't frickin' play this the way, you know. It's so not lenient on when you hit the ball. I don't know how Mario Tennis got it right. This didn't, but I could have swore this is the game I played before. My buddy had it. There's some tennis game on the SNES, anyways. That's why I was like, yeah, I'll take that one. Played it once. But unlike Mario Tennis, it has 4 different types of hits. Yeah, and you never want to use... Yeah, because it has A, B, X, Y. And they're all different hits. B is the power hit, A is like the slowest crap hit, Y is like a high volley, and X is a curveball, I think, or something. Or top spin. But anytime I use Y, it goes out, and anytime I use A, it just hits the net or doesn't make it, so... Really, I just use B. Damn it. Trying to find like the best character too. I'm thinking foot speed's probably gonna be the best thing for this. Just being able.
Probably, I guess.
I would guess. Unless you can somehow miss it, like RNG style.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. It was Donna and Debbie. I know I just wanted to play because they're like. One of them's like really accurate with where they hit it, and one of them was foot speed, like good footwork or whatever. So there's a lot of characters.
I think I'm gonna play some Xbox 360 because I'm just not feeling it.
UN Squadron.
Yeah,
Have you actually been trying to go for the friggin' hard ending or whatever?
yeah. I was on the last 2
Chris.
levels.
What?
Last level, you said?
Last
Hey,
2.
Chris.
Oh, okay.
What is
I
it?
had
Hey, Chris.
acquired.
What?
Hey, Chris.
What?
Hey, Chris. Can you hear me?
Jesus.
Chris.
Yes, I'm here.
Wolf just like left. He disappeared. He faded into the shadows.
He just told me this game is garbage, and that's the last I heard from him.
But I had leached quite a bit on my last continue, so I had earned 4 lives.
I was watching a bit of it, but then I went to get supper.
Yeah, I saw. I had bought the $1 Million Plane, which is amazing, by the way. It definitely helped. And I had got more than $1 million after that, leeching, because I was trying to build lives up. And then once I had 5 lives in stock, I just went for it, and I beat one of the tier 3 bosses out of the 2.
Okay.
So I had two levels and 2 bosses to complete. And that second tier 2 or tier 3 boss really got me, because I thought I watched a video on it and I thought I knew what to do.
Yeah.
I was completely wrong. I just got my ass handed to me.
Gotta get that parade of thank yous. You think if it wasn't on hard mode, you would have had it by now?
Yes.
Oh, if it was normal, I think I would have destroyed it.
Yeah. I don't know. I still don't know where to stand on like that rule. I think like people are saying like you just need to beat a game on easy mode, but I think like you should at least beat it on its default setting.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be scaling it down at all, at least.
Which,
What? Oh, okay. And at first, when you first having those issues, yeah, it's like I thought you were trying to troll me constantly.
Oh my god. This fucking game, man. Fuck. There's no leniency at this. I'm like not even that far away from the ball, and I press B, and it just kind of like half swings and misses.
I gotta feel good about myself tonight, because that was horrible.
Yeah, you know, like fuck. That's. I mean, you'll get there, but jeez, we're all gonna have to swim through some freaking hard and some garbage. Right now, I've got the ladder.
It's not like it's a bad game.
No, but that's why I said hard, some hard and some garbage.
Yeah.
Or sometimes both.
I don't know. I think it's some hot garbage itself, but.
No, that's kablooey. Match point. All right. Well, I'm just gonna run through these tournaments and see if I get the ending by failing. Does that count? Because
As long as the ending is no different.
yeah, really. I'll look it up after. I feel kind of cheap if that's what happens. At the same time, I can't score like 3 points in a freaking match. Well, so let's see. I got like 4 points. Yeah, pretty close. So. All right. Well, it actually means I play less games if that's how it works out, because I don't have to go through the tournament bracket. Oh my god, it's giving me a password and everything. Holy crap. That is the worst password I've ever seen in my life. Okay, let me just...
I don't even want to know what's going on there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 by 3, 14, 28. 30... Jesus, I can't do math right now. 32. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. 42 character password. Just by the way.
What the fuck?
Not kidding.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
That is the longest password I've ever seen.
Like an NES style password for like Metroid or something like that.
I heard one of the worst ones was G.I. Joe game, like the second one.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't remember the specifics of it, but apparently it was pretty bad.
I can imagine that being pretty bad.
Hey, I'm winning the first game. Or the third game.
Great.
Now I'm losing.
Oh, hell.
It was fun while it lasted. I'm tied, I should say. I can't... Wait, what the hell? Oh, my controller just pulled a Chris. Wonderful. I've got to...
Oh, shit. I hate when that happens.
Well, what I gotta do is I gotta unpair it from my phone so it doesn't try and do that. Wait, that's not even the issue. What the hell is going on? The heck? No, it's just pulling a Chris completely.
I like how the Ottoman Empire can still win wars even after it's being eaten by my guys.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if that works. Yep, okay. That was weird. Frick, I don't want my computer to start pulling the same thing yours is doing. That could really suck at times.
Come on.
It's gonna be interesting when Top Gear 3000 rolls around. I gotta wire up the actual Super Nintendo. Well, I'm not emulating that thing because we know that's not gonna work. Like it might. Some very rare computers have no issue with that, but like my old one. But I've confirmed my current computer does have issues with it. I've tried. But I'm okay with that, because out of the two games I absolutely want on this list, it's Super Defense Force and Top Gear 3000. Honestly, even like Donkey Kong Country 3, I would almost rather someone else play it to play its beauty, because it's my favorite game. But
Yeah, I mean, I've played the first two quite a bit, but the third one hardly at all.
I would actually, you would be like one of the first people I'd want to see play it, I think, actually.
Alright. It looked fun, but...
Oh yeah, you watched me play it.
Doesn't really do anything for me.
Doesn't, oh kitty, yeah, well I mean, literally just, it's just your character sprite, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. So I would go with it.
Yeah. I wonder if I'd do any better if I played this game on fast forward. Seems most likely I'll have success. Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't hit a ball. I get service aced most of the time. There's no leniency. Let's try using a different button, I guess. Nope. I just got service aced pretty much an entire game. Yep. Entire game. Oh my god. The walkthrough I was looking at this game praised it so much too. They're like, this is a great game. I think the problem is it just doesn't have a difficulty setting at all. It's just the same difficulty throughout. There's just different character stats.
Oh, that's dumb.
So I'm literally playing on hard the entire time, and I've never played it. That's what I consider it anyways. Oh my... This is crazy. I feel like, it's funny, every game I've played on this so far, well, I guess, save for Kablooey and Populous, but everything I've cleared is, like, literally Nintendo made or Nintendo, like... I don't know if SimCity for the Super Nintendo would be Nintendo made port, but I think it was.
Close enough. It's got Bowser in it.
Yeah. I think this is just Nintendo making a sequel to Tennis for the NES. Oh, I thought I got a point and it went out. That's the thing about Mario Tennis, is the ball never goes out, like, ever. The game is so user-friendly that you, like, can't screw up. This is, like, more realistic and how I actually feel about tennis, where it's like, it either gets service aced or it gets hit back once or twice and it's done.
Right.
That's why I like badminton, because like playing it, because it's like, if I do play an over the net sport, because unlike volleyball and tennis, badminton's gonna like keep going on for a while, and it's more fun that way. Let me just try.
Salt crisis. There should never be a salt crisis when I'm playing. Fuck's this bullshit?
Where's Wolf been as? He comes in, but his mic's not working, I guess. Fuck.
He feels like it.
Yeah.
He usually mutes himself.
Yeah. Seems that way. At least before I left, that's what he's doing. Ever since Kablooey and Populous. I think that guy's had to swim through the most shit piles so far. Or maybe Tensor.
I think Tensor, you just had like this super long game.
Yeah, but when it's that long, I would consider it a pile of crap.
Oh, I mean, he had the longest game, and he had the shortest game.
Yeah, for 1 minute. I expect it to be like a bunch of friggin' like this, or it's like a bunch of chess tournaments or something.
No, it was like 28 seconds.
I am
You heard he completed Chess Master, right?
I am possibly winning a game here. And by game, I mean tennis game, so not the match. I just want a game. I want a game. Progress.
Welcome back.
Wolf, unmute yourself, man. I haven't heard you in a while.
Wolf, talk.
Talk, Wolf.
Speak.
Okay, come on. Oh, shit. I was playing a lot of Final Fantasy V while I was gone, though, because I got that mount for my phone for my Super Nintendo controller.
Nice, I've got stuff.
I thought you were like, nice, Final Fantasy V. I'm like, yeah, it is nice. It's my favorite. So far, I'm doing the revisit. I'm not sure it's still my favorite. I think when they came out with Final Fantasy IV hard mode, that might be my new favorite, but...
Yeah, Final Fantasy IV hard mode is pretty great,
Yeah.
but job system.
Job system's pretty nice. You know what? I'm using a bunch of jobs that the games usually either don't give you, at least from the ones I played, or ones I don't usually use.
You're familiar with 3, right?
I have it. Someone gifted it for me with the PC, like the remake, like they had for 4. So I'm looking into playing that one. But
You're gonna be very happy.
why is that?
I mean, I could give you the tip, but well, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
It's 3 is like a mixture of 4 and 5.
Ooh. It's lacking a story for the most part, I think, though. It's like the same story as 1 and 2 kind of thing, where it's not very deep.
No, it's very different on the PC.
Really?
The story is very similar to 4. You're actually gonna feel like you're playing parts of 4 before 4 came out.
Well, I mean, they look the same. I think it's because they're both DS ports or whatever.
Yeah, they obviously they borrowed ideas in both cases, like on the original and on the remake.
You know how much I'd love to get the remake treatment on like 5 and 6 though, like to that extent.
Oh, no kidding. Like I feel like, I mean, personally, I feel like 6 is the greatest story.
I feel like I've been playing it too currently for like YouTube. Not as much as 5 because I was away and I was playing 5 on the go on my phone with my Super Nintendo controller, which was great, by the way. It was a great solution to not spending $200 on a GBA and a EverDrive. But like 6 seems to do a lot of unorthodox things for the series, which is nice.
Oh yeah. And it's like even during battle, depending on the character you're using, it could feel like a mini game.
Yeah. I've been through I just got through the second part where, like, I know you had, like, the Moogles at the start where you would command a bunch of them and you kind of did that on-field battle with different parties. I did that for, like, when I actually had party members at Narsh. I'm not sure I love that mechanic because, like, it seemed like at least the last one dragged on for a long time. And it kind of reminds me of Seven's like, weird mount, whatever it was.
We're talking about... Jeez, why can't I remember?
I remembered it the other day too because I told someone
It's
about
Mount Condor.
it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that where it's like really slow paced to like do that, and like I don't know.
Kinda.
It's kind of nice to like actually get to use all your party members through that. But I don't know. I just didn't particularly enjoy that as much this time, I guess.
The way that I enjoy that is I usually make, well, your main party is usually overpowered,
Yeah.
and then you just charge in with it and kill as much as you can.
See, I try to use everybody when I play RPGs now. I try to use everybody. So nobody's really. There'll still be
Yeah,
some
by
favorites,
that-
but yeah.
By then, you have to. If you neglect people at the end of the game, you will never finish it.
Good. I've been told I'm playing the game like very well because people are like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're stealing all the time and stuff." I'm like, "Well, yeah,
Yeah.
these are handy
Oh, you-
functions."
have to. I mean, in other games, it
All
was
that
just
power projection.
you got bonuses and stuff, and it might help you, it might not later in the game. But for Final Fantasy VI, they expect it from you.
Okay. Yeah, because there's been like no complaints. I'm playing it for the first time. People are like, "Yeah, you're doing really well," and like you seem to understand how this works. It's like, well, yeah. To be fair, I understand how Final Fantasy works for the most part. Aside from some minor things that I kind of forget about, I had to like trial and error a bit of like, does magic work better in the back row or the front row? And it seems like it didn't make a difference. Like when you use it on somebody, it makes a difference on their back and front row. I think, according to 5, but. Or at least physical attacks make a difference on their front and back row. I don't think magic cares.
Magic does not care.
Yep. Yeah, so I was like, little things like that, it's like I couldn't quite remember. I haven't quite pinned it down in my life or noticed enough to care, I guess. But because when you have someone like Terra who can wield a sword and a shield, that's where I was like, well, can I put her in the front row and still have her magic be as volatile? And so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tails is glitching out.
Is he?
Oh yeah, in chat.
At least he's not, at least they didn't tag him because then it would have done it like 7 times.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say with 5, like I've been trying a bunch of things and I've actually really liked some of the combos I made. I made Ferris, I've got Ferris to be a knight, a mystic knight, and a ninja. And the mystic knight thing's the one I never used, and it's like, wow, this is really handy to have as a combo with either of these now. Because you can attach spells to her attacks.
Right.
And then I think I've noticed, because I've never used blue mage really, I had Bart's as a blue mage, white mage, and then I think I was getting him to, I had to get him to do the Beastmaster for a bit to get the control ability to get some of the better blue magic. So, but once I realized that his, pretty much, you don't have a need for white magic as much almost when you get things like White Wind and Big Guard, like you've got kind of the white magic covered with stuff like that. You know, so.
Yeah. And again, like finish your playthrough of 5, finish your playthrough of 6. You already have a good memory of how 4 is, right?
Oh yeah, fantastic. I need to finish that version though. You know, I'm bad at not finishing my
you
games.
haven't finished it?
Nah, well, I've never finished 4. Well, I think the thing was, I was playing 4, and then I realized I was.
It's a shame. 10 kind of took that.
Took what?
4. Since he was like, alright, I've beat all these games, I'm playing them 4.
Yeah, that's because I'm claiming EDF. That's fine. I mean, I'm playing 2 other Final Fantasy games right now, so I'm not too worried about it. The thing with 4, I think, is I'm bad at finishing my RPGs usually, first of all, but second of all, I started watching the walkthrough long after when I was probably, I think I could go to the moon. I just gained access there. But I realized that I completely screwed up the augments because I didn't really know what they were and that they were placing them in weird areas.
You don't really need them.
You don't really need them, but it's one of my favorite things
It's
about
not
that
hard,
game's
but-
system because it's like, wow, it's just the augments are fantastic, and the fact that you can port these abilities onto other characters, I love it. But you have to port them onto certain characters that die or go away in order to get new augments that are better. So,
Right.
yeah.
But after you complete all this stuff, go back and do the Steam version of 3.
Yeah, I might do that before I do 4 again, but
Really do yourself the favor. You're really gonna like it.
Yeah.
And then with 4, you haven't seen how hard it could get.
Oh, like, well, it's got like 4 playthroughs or something nuts, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the moon, in general,
Oh yeah.
uh,
See, I was stupid as a kid too, because I had the Game Boy Advance version. It's the first Final Fantasy I played that wasn't 7. I asked for it for Christmas and actually got it. It was like such a great gift. But I got to the moon as well. Didn't set much foot on it, and then kind of just dropped the game. But I was young at the time too, so I don't know. I kind of got into the moon twice in my life, but never got any further.
get Final Fantasy 6 in my Super Nintendo library, but I made sure I had 4. Like I have 4 right now. It's one of my favorites.
So yeah, I don't know. I prefer the way some of the functions that they've added to the Game Boy Advance versions of that trilogy as well. Like I don't think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like the L and R swapping through characters' equipment quickly, like that's not a thing. Stuff like that.
No, it's not a thing, but most of those changes that they implemented for the US version of that were already in the Japanese version.
Of I guess 2 and 3 at that point.
Yeah. Well, they called it 4.
Yeah, 4. You're right. Japan called it 4 and 5 or 4 and 6. Yeah. And I'm not sure what their logic behind not bringing 5 across was. I think they thought the job system was too confusing or something.
Well, there was a lot of crap about how they thought the games were too hard for the U.S. audience. So the original U.S. releases for Super Nintendo were extremely dumbed down.
Yeah.
Like, even Final Fantasy 4 was super dumbed down.
Well, when you don't have those things, like in Final Fantasy IV hard mode, where you gotta realize and learn the hard way that this enemy does not like being attacked by fire and will fuck you up, or this enemy does not like physical attacks, and like, you know, then you actually have to start using your defend commands and like think about other commands to use. It's
Yeah.
I love it.
But in the US, the only way you ever got to see anything like that happening was with Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior.
I guess that's probably why people like that one more in some cases.
It's the only one that was consistently released in the US. Final Fantasy, you saw 1, then you saw 4, then you saw 6, you
Yeah.
know, until 7.
7's probably the
Dragon
easiest.
Quest eventually started doing the same thing. You know, they put out the first 4, and then they just stopped
Yeah,
till 7.
but that was later.
I think 7's probably the easiest one I played too. When you really know what you're doing, it is a cakewalk. Like,
Yeah, 7 was pretty easy because all you got to do is invest time. I thought 8 was pretty difficult. I've only played through 8 and finished it 1 time.
I got to the end of the first disc once.
I've played it a lot. I really like 8. The rest of them are kind of like 7 after that. Like, you just got to put the time in.
Yeah. But
Except for 9 is an exception because they give you bonuses for how fast you complete it.
yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like I really like that element ever since playing Final Fantasy IV hard mode, where like you know all your commands are gonna come in handy, and that was the other thing with 4 in the original, like the GBA version I played, where it's like things like pray you didn't want to use because it probably wasn't gonna work, and then things like kick where like they barely did any damage to everybody, and then they fixed a lot of these things in the hard mode version.
At the end of the game, Prey is your best friend.
I'm sure it is. It's fantastic in that game. It heals everybody by a good chunk, I'm pretty sure, guaranteed. Unlike the GBA version where it's like, you gotta hope it'll work.
Sometimes you got screwed.
Yeah. The other thing was, I think ammo stopped being a thing. So if you had like a bow and arrow, you only needed to buy like one of a certain type of arrow, and you'd have infinite supply.
Yeah.
So it was like, there was things that made it easier too, but like, I don't know, it made it so you had to use all your commands.
Arrow was kind of weird feeling.
What was?
Just having 1 arrow in your inventory.
Yeah.
For that.
Well, after playing 5 and having to keep stock for the ninja class and all the water and fire scrolls and stuff, yeah, that was just foreign to me.
Stars. Alright, stuff to throw.
Yeah. Oh, forget what else I'm doing. Oh, I've got a. The other one I'm using is like. What is it? Ranger, I think, is what I'm using on Lena a lot of times. She's like a Ranger Thief Black Mage, I think, is the 3 I've been using on her. And the Ranger's been pretty interesting. I've never seen the Animals command. It's kind of random, which I'm not big on random stuff, but it's kind of cool.
It's cool, yeah.
It's kind of like Prey almost, because like it might heal your party a big time with a Nightingale or whatever, but it might just do a bee swarm that does a minimal damage to the enemies.
Bees, no. Wait, I'm a dragon.
Draken. I hear bad things about that from this group.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you said.
Yeah, I don't have to do it anymore, so.
We've all been there in this contest so far. I think we had a good old kablooey. Well, I don't think I've had. Yeah, I don't think I've had anything of extreme. Well, you know, I should bite my lip right now because I'm playing the freaking hard, difficult game right now. But other than that, I haven't had a hard difficulty game. Although this keeps advancing me through the tournament, so I'm just keep playing.
For difficulty, I think right now Glenn has the hardest one.
Glenn's played most of the hard games that have come up so far.
He's got super ghouls and ghosts.
I hear it's one of the best games on the Super Nintendo, though. No?
That's alright.
You know what? I feel like you shouldn't be able to rate a game unless you can beat it.
True. So it's good, but you can't beat it, kind of thing. It's probably like Smash TV. It's pretty fun, but fuck. Although I never played the Super Nintendo version of that. Mind you, I had the Nintendo version.
I played the Super Nintendo version one time. I was tempted because they have Super Smash TV and Total Carnage at the local game store here. But I know if they're good collector's items. Excuse me, but it'd be a mistake to own those.
Yeah. Oh my god. I hate deuces. They never end. Except in this game, they will end because I suck.
You gotta say it like Mario Tennis.
Deuce!
Deuce!
Oh, I just assumed it was in Mario voice. Fucking, I lost. I was like wondering, so I was like, if I win the last tournament, that might do it too. It's not like it's gonna get any more difficult. I'm winning just as many points as I was in the first one.
I mean, aren't you like totally losing but still somehow advancing?
Yes, correct. I'm getting knocked out in the first round of every tournament, and I'm advancing to the next tournaments.
If it works, it works.
If it doesn't have a different ending, I'm calling that it's okay. I want to play some Super Earth Defense Force. I know it's going to be easy as shit for me, but it's not necessarily like if anybody else took on Super Earth Defense Force, it would probably be a healthy 6 hour clear at least.
Somebody wanted to play it.
Wolf did.
Ken really wanted that one.
Yeah. You know what? Like I'd be willing to give it to him if I could play Final Fantasy IV and finish it for once, but
that's a complicated trade system.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think Tensor needs a good game too. He's had a lot of nuts.
Tensor deserves that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
It.
You know what? And we got Super Off-Road coming up. I love that game. I'm not sure how beating it's gonna be.
You can't.
You can't? So is it literally just one circuit and we're done pretty much?
I'd say play until you repeat a level. No, maybe that's too easy.
Maybe play until you max out your car.
That might work.
That might work, but I think that happens pretty quick, to be fair. That might happen quicker than repeating a level.
Well, you might be able to go through at least 1.5 times before you max out your car.
True. If that's the case, I would vote that.
I'm trying to remember. I think that's about when that happens.
The one,
It is fun.
the arcade game. I remember I played it for the first time or second time or something, and I got like so far through that I could like never possibly lose because I just got a good start. But what I realized with that game is every time I tried to play it since is unless you get a good start, you are pretty much screwed because everybody has better vehicles than you.
Got lucky with that.
What's that?
Oh, I was just not talking about my game.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I did get lucky with for continuing great on that game the first time. But I don't know. I played the arcade version that was on the Xbox compilation disc thing, and then I played the Sega Genesis one quite a bit too. After that,
I bet the Genesis one is pretty cool.
the thing is, the Genesis version might be harder than the arcade one for some reason too. That might be why I struggled with that one.
It's that blast processing, man.
Blast processing.
Like, I would love to play that game for this contest. It's pretty close to EDF, though. But then again, the second EDF's unlocked, it's going to be pretty close to Chessmaster. If I'm home, I'm just going to boot it up. It's going to be an hour and a half, and it'll be done. Without probably losing a life. I love that game. And even if I do lose a life, you get, like, 6 continues or something. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll be
something
fine.
ridiculous like that.
I'll be fine. It was a cool thing they tried to do with the weapon system in that game, but really, like, the only ones that end up really being good is, like, the ones that home on to things. So that's all you end up using until the last level when your ships have upgraded themselves to just pretty much... By the point you get to level 5 with your little ship buddies, their level 5 function that you can add onto them is that they just go into right in front of enemies and shoot them.
Holy shit, Gold Rush.
So all you do at that point is just watch yourself and dodge and hold down shoot. Like, it's a bit more complicated than that. It's kind of hard to dodge everything going on, and sometimes you want to switch the functions back to the old functions, but it's really not too bad. The formula I do for that game is I think it's homing for the first 2 levels, S laser for the next 3, and then explosive for the final level.
Oh, sounds cool.
Yeah. At the same time, I wouldn't mind seeing someone try and play it, but, like, I don't know. I love that game. It's such a blast. And I only boot it up probably, like, once or twice a year, and then I just... It's a good night.
Or that has to do high percent.
Yeah, I played that. That's just F-Zero Sandwich shit zone. Where the enemies are dots, as I recall.
I don't know. At first I was like, this game is pretty cool. I think if you haven't played it, you should. But it gets boring after the first, like, 3 times you play.
It's not a very appealing game visually either.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
Really? It's kind of bland. I don't know.
Oh, that's just me, though.
Yeah. Oh my god. Tennis. It's not even like I don't dislike the sport. It's just I don't know.
Just that particular game.
Yeah, I love Mario Tennis. I've played some other tennis. I think the monkey ball tennis was pretty much just Mario Tennis too. It was fun. It was just a mini game.
Right.
But those games are a lot more forgiving. You can't knock the ball out. It's exactly what I hate about playing tennis for real. It's knocking it out. It's just like, well, look at that great shot I got. Oh, but it's slightly outside of that line. That's not a very reasonable space to hit within. Well, I guess it doesn't count. Let's just not hit it and keep... Ugh.
I think I had really high hopes for the Sega All-Stars Tennis, but then the difficulty was, like, crazy.
Really? I forgot they made that.
I mean, graphically, it's great. It's just the mechanics. I don't know who they targeted the game for besides the hardcore.
Yeah. Sounds kind of like
Maybe they
Monkey
thought-
Ball, where it's like, this is clearly like a freaking brutally hard game in a kid's shell. I
Yeah,
don't know if you
I'm
played
guessing-
that, but...
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. What was? Oh, I'm guessing they thought maybe they would try and take the fan base from Mario Tennis. Like, all right, maybe you're done with Mario Tennis because you've just played it so much. So now move on to this, and
Yeah.
they have the difficulty set for that. You know.
They did a pretty good job with their kart racer that everybody assumed would be bad, but it's actually pretty fun if you play either of the two games.
Yeah. See, the first one I like because it has more appeal to somebody who knows Sonic from the past, and then All Stars Racing Transformed is like, I think the actual racing aspect of it, besides the horrible rubber banding, is really good.
Yeah.
It's a fun game, but it's definitely geared more towards newer fans.
Yeah, it tried to throw a lot at you, but it's pretty fun having the stage change on you to accommodate the different vehicles. It's kind of a cool way of taking what Diddy Kong Racing did and making it like a necessity, which almost makes me wish it was like you could pick either three, but the fact that they changed the stage for it is pretty sweet.
Yeah. And I mean, it's expected. And one thing, like, I might be the only one, but I really like Sonic Riders, the first one.
Oh, I haven't played it. I know what you're talking about though. Like PS2 game or something, right?
So difficult. It came out on PlayStation 2, possibly GameCube, but definitely Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Xbox original.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I owned of that generation actually for the longest time.
And holy crap, was that hard. That was not a kid's game.
Oh, you know what? I've seen somebody brought it out at a birthday party or something years ago. It looked pretty okay. I think we played some rounds in free play of it, but it was like hard to just jump into it, something like that, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think it took me a couple of months just to get Supersonic. And then there was more.
Well, they've all done a better job than Sonic R.
See, Sonic R I like, but I can really get through it in a matter of hours.
It's like, I did play more extended time with it with my friend who had grown up with it. I was like, yeah, it's pretty decent. And it was funny because he ended up disliking it more than he remembered, and I ended up liking it more than I remembered. And the only thing for me is that, like, it's pretty unforgiving and it feels unfinished. Like, there's just certain things that look off, like there should be a piece of land there or something, and it's just water for, like, a random square. It's like...
It feels unfinished because they still had not figured out what they could do with the Sega Saturn.
That's because it was a mess of hardware, really, to figure out, yeah.
It's so overbuilt. But then... So once you get into the groove and you know the layout, and there's definitely one path you want to take every time.
Yep. Well,
there's no way you can lose.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how, like, my buddy kept beating me at it, and then I was like, oh, okay, it's just, like, follow where he's going.
Yeah, they give you so many different paths to choose from, but there is one, just one, that you want to take.
Yep. Which is kind of cool, but I think it tries a bit too much when it's like, oh, you got to pay coins or rings to go through this entrance and, like...
The secret areas, but that could be a strategy in itself. You know, you could lay back and wait until your friend pays for it for you.
True.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. It's really... I don't think it's that great of a game, personally. It's like, it's mildly entertaining, and I can, like, get over some of its things, but I don't know. It's clunky, and, like, it doesn't control, like, I know it's the same thing, but, like, you're running on feet, and it shouldn't feel like you're driving a car, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And you know who did it better?
Who's that?
So, Sonic 3D Blast, the special stages, have you ever seen those?
On Saturn?
Yes.
Oh, they are amazing. I am with you on that.
They were really awful on the Genesis.
They were.
They must have actually listened to their fans, and when they released it on the Sega Saturn, it was beautiful.
It's, you know what? It's a beautiful looking game for the Saturn. It's a beautiful sounding game.
Yeah.
My only takeaway from it is the
Load times.
whatever. But like,
Time on my pristine disc take like 2 minutes.
yep. I don't know. I don't think mine takes that long. And as I recall, it's one like I own like 6 Saturn games. But you know, the flickies or whatever. It's just like, I don't know. Searching for those doesn't really do it for me. Running through the levels is fun, but
That was a throwback to a previous game.
yes.
So I kind of get it, but yeah.
It's a fun game to like. It controls well. It's crisp. It looks good. It sounds good. It's just like sometimes you get stuck looking for flickies forever, and there's not really a save or password system. So I've never got past. I think what's the casino looking world. I forget exactly.
I'm trying to remember. I think it had some awesome music.
I forget if it's Mystic Ruins Stage 1 or 2, but that is some of the best video game music like I've ever heard.
I like that, and I like the snow area.
I may not have ever got to the snow area.
I thought the snow area had some really good music. Very Christmassy.
I'll have to get there someday. It's not often I pull up the Saturn though. Well, I mean, it's everything's out, but I don't know.
And the composer must have been the same guy who did the Sonic CD music. It's
Yeah.
very similar. You know, that awesome Red Book audio.
Yep.
And then when you fight a boss, they got like the robotic laughs intertwined in the music and stuff. It's kind of, I don't know. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely changed my stroke on it after I played the Saturn version because I was like, I'd played the Genesis version or whatever, and it was like kind of like, well, this is really trying too hard to do a 3D look on a console that can't handle it. And then I got a Saturn one day, and that was one of the games that was there, and I was like,
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
The Saturn could handle much more than that.
oh, exactly.
But they had no idea what they were doing, really. And
Well,
it's sad.
the hardware I think was a mess. Like it was really actually technologically great, but they had like I think 6 sound processors and like a bunch of varying video processors, and it's just like hard to really know how to work it, I guess. But
Yeah. And then, I mean, you got masterpieces like Sega Rally and stuff like that. Knights was pretty good, but I think the baseline, Knights was a little simplistic and boring.
okay.
They claim it as being complete 3D and whatnot, but it's not. It's a 2.5D game.
Yeah. Which at the time you could sell to people, say it's 3D because look at the background.
But you still can.
Yeah.
But they were competing with Mario 64, and there's really no comparison.
Yeah. Well, they had that Sonic Extreme thing you see like prototypes of and stuff. It looked like it was a pretty cool idea.
Okay, and have you played Sonic Jam?
Gems Collection or
No, Jam.
oh Sonic Jam? Yeah, where you had the little hub world you run around. I haven't played it, but I've seen it.
That is neat, and
Yeah.
it plays really well.
Yep.
Yeah, you're just messing around selecting games, but what a good idea.
Yeah, Sonic Jam was definitely one I'd probably want to own for that. I mean, I own some weird games for the Sat. I have Bug, Mystaria, SimCity 2000, Sonic 3D Blast, Theme Park, and Clockwork Knight. Which Clockwork Knight, there's another actually really good one.
I like that game.
You played it, Wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah.
Number 2 is
Right,
cool.
I grew up in the 90s.
Right. I just never knew anyone had a Saturn.
I
And
had
then
one.
I have Croc. You know what Croc is, right?
Yeah, I bought that too, but the disc didn't work. I'd take it back. It looks fun.
So that game was gonna be a Mario game.
Really? Shit.
Well, yeah. Actually, it was gonna be a Yoshi game.
I can see
But
it, yeah.
they kind of let him on, like the developer, And at the end, they told him, no, we figured out what we're gonna do. So your code is not gonna be our game. And he took the code and made Croc.
For the competitor, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think it was PlayStation and Saturn eventually, but
Yeah. PlayStation, Saturn, and PC.
right.
Yeah, I had it for PlayStation.
And unfortunately, Saturn never got the sequel.
Yeah.
It really should have, but it's alright. I really enjoy that one.
I'm not sure how to feel with Bug as well. It seems alright. Again, it's lacking a password or save system. It's a long friggin' game, but
Bug was trying to be. They were trying to be really edgy.
yeah, I can
Like,
tell.
and trying to become a mascot for the system.
Yeah.
And you could tell because they had the races against Sonic. Like, they were trying to figure out if they wanted to keep Sonic or not.
Okay.
And it really. Bug is one of my least favorite games.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened on Sega.
Yeah, it's
feel
like, I don't know. I've tried it a few times. It's just like, it just seems kind of tedious. I don't know if that's the best word for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's right, because it was like Gex, but Gex did it better.
Does Gex have that weird kind of like, it's 3D, but you can only walk in these planes kind of thing too?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's where I was kind of like, I don't know about this. Like, it's kind of cool for like its time. I can appreciate it. And it looks all right, but yeah, it seems tedious to get through for sure. And it's unforgiving as crap. I remember like levels can take so freaking long, and something stupid could kill you. You could screw up a jump, and it's like you're back through this like 15-minute level. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that was Saturn was plagued by a lot of games like that. I mean, PlayStation had its fair share too,
Oh, I'm sure.
but Nintendo 64 definitely sat back and watched and capitalized on that.
Yeah, I figured out what to do and not to do.
Yeah.
At least with our first party stuff, there's definitely a fair share of like third party stuff that was just weird and kind of like.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. The N64 library unfortunately hasn't aged as well. I think at the time, even you could argue a lot of their third party stuff's like, hey, it's fine, it works, it's fun. But now it's like going back to it, it's just not as fun.
Oh yeah, like I really like the game, but Mischief Makers didn't really age well.
It's like, yeah.
It's still fun, but the mechanics are so weird. Like, you gotta say, man, I really want to play a strange game. And then it delivers.
One game that, like, we loved growing up is we rented the San Francisco Rush and Rush 2, and of course I own them now. I love those games. We loved, it's just the whole death race aspect. But, like, I don't want to say it didn't age well, because I still can pick them up and enjoy them quite a bit. I think they look pretty freaking bad for even the N64. It's probably the only thing.
Yeah,
I have myself like so set for this game now.
Which game?
Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Oh, I thought you meant Super Tennis. I was like, good, because I'm losing every game. You always bail me out. You bailed me out of Kablooey a bunch of times. And bailed everybody out of Populous, so...
Like at first I thought I was screwed because I only had like 2 pieces of land, but now I have like almost the entire right side of the map.
Them strategy games. I don't know. I'm curious though, sorry, so do you ever play the Rush games? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
only thing I don't like is collecting.
I did like that as a kid. But like, yeah, it's pretty difficult.
I still play it. I really like Cruising USA also. But
Yeah.
I can't say I like
man,
Exotica
fucking
or
game.
World.
Don't like which?
I don't like Exotica
Oh,
or
yeah.
World.
World seemed alright, but they were both rentals for me. Exotica seemed like, holy crap, this is trying way too much and way too hard to be like out there. I played an arcade cabinet once, and a buddy had the N64 version. I think the arcade cabinet is still better, from what I recall, obviously.
Oh, it
Ah,
was.
there we go. The achievement finally popped.
But yeah,
Shouldn't it?
Exotica's like, holy crap, what is this game's on acid? Like,
See, if they had done it like Cruising USA, and then California Speed was the sequel, I would have been fine with that.
wait, California Speed's a sequel to Cruising USA?
Oh, if they did it like that.
Oh, okay. I haven't played California Speed. I'm like, but wait, there's a sequel to that? Now I have to play this. I like Cruising USA as well.
It's a lot like it.
Huh. I know there was like some weird one I play, like Automobile Lamborghini. I think seemed okay, but I was also a kid, so.
It's that one's solid, but it's so easy.
Is it? We really liked
Yeah.
Top Gear Rally and what was it?
I like Top Gear Rally and Top Gear Overdrive.
Overdrive I haven't played, but it looks pretty fun. And
Side-
hmm?
Now, Brandon, he just recently got the Twin Galaxies records on Cruising Exotica.
Oh,
and he
boy.
said, "Quit hating on my game."
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, I'm not hating on your records, but I am kind of hating on the game itself.
Oh, Cyrus, I took land number 20 today.
Number 20.
Yeah, remember last night I was saying that was probably the hardest one to take.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I fucking took it like with ease.
So what happened?
I sent 500 troops and they sent 1,000. I charged the leader.
Okay.
Okay, I think I just got the ending for losing at this game every match. Alright, I'm gonna stop streaming for a second, look up YouTube, see if this is clear, cause I'm voting clear, because I don't want to beat this.
Right, I don't blame you.
Losing every game. That's no fair.
Let's go check out YouTube quick.